हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। आप लोग सुस्त लग रहे हैं, आज मौसम खराब है इसलिए थोड़ा सा रात में बारिश होने के कारण हैं। तो हमारे बीच में है हिज ग्रेस महामन प्रभु। तो प्रभु जी का ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन मैं आप लोग को दूंगा। तो महामन प्रभु जब लंदन में केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे थे उस समय वो इस्कॉन के संपर्क में आए। इट वॉज इन 1972। महाराज, आई वॉज ऑल्सो डूइंग केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग उज्जैन एट दैट टाइम। आई केम इन कॉन्टेक्ट विद इस्कॉन। सो he was doing chemical engineering in London. So at that time in 1972 he came in across ISKCON and met devotees. And yesterday Maharaj was telling, and today also he'll tell us how he came in contact with Srila Prabhupada. For the very first time when he visited temple, at that time Srila Prabhupada was personally present there. So it is now around 50 years, 1972 to 2022. For last 50 years he's serving ISKCON wholeheartedly, dedicatedly, and he's the zonal secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Chhattisgarh and a few other states. So all the preaching activities, ISKCON activities are going under him in all these states. And he's also serving as the temple president of Indore, and he's the initiating spiritual master, Diksha Guru. So we are very happy to have him here in our Sakar Malik Davir Khas Chhatravas. So we have named it Sakar Malik Davir Khas Chhatravas. And I just wanted to tell you all one more thing. Few days back, Maharaj, I was hearing one he's not ISKCON devotee, he's just a Vedantist kind of. So becoming very famous. You know, you have heard Acharya Prashant. He's becoming quite famous these days. So he's IIT, IIM alumnus, and he speaks on Vedanta and Vedas. Speaks nicely. So in one of his short clip he said that those who have led meaningful lives, actually he said that when a person becomes old, so he looks ugly, he looks distorted. In the youth everyone looks very handsome, very energetic, but in the old age people look distorted. Why? So he said the more we have led the life without any purpose, the more distorted the face becomes. The more we have led life with purpose, the more glow comes as the age passes. So we can see, Maharaj, in your face, although you are more than 70 years old, it's around 70 plus? 72. So Maharaj is 72 years old, but you can see the nice glow and the glow in his face. So it is because it shows that he has led his life in such a way, serving Srila Prabhupada. So you can see in his face. So that is what, when I saw you, Maharaj, yesterday, so this particular short video that I heard, it came to my mind. So we welcome him into our base by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Maharaj will speak about how to lead meaningful lives and why to practice Krishna consciousness in youth, and what is the best utilization of youthful energy. So he'll be speaking on that subject matter. You can directly start.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanantimirandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूप कदा मयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I'm very happy to be with all of you students this morning here in Bhubaneswar. Prabhuji has given very nice introduction, especially saying that in old age the face becomes distorted unless you are a devotee. So face is also the index of the mind. Prabhupada used to say that when so many youths joined ISKCON in the old days, in the 1960s, they were initially coming like hippies, long hair, not clean, wearing very not presentable clothes. But since they have come to Krishna consciousness and becoming devotees, their faces are becoming very full of luster, brilliant. And Prabhupada said, they look just like as if Narad Muni has come directly from Vaikuntha. This is the effect of taking to devotional service. I was reminded of one anecdote that took place during the times of Srila Prabhupada. In West Virginia, devotees wanted to dedicate a very nice house building for Srila Prabhupada. This building is known as Prabhupada Palace of Gold, and every aspect of that building was taken care of by the devotees. They designed it, they did not hire any outside architects. They built brick by brick the whole building out of their love for Srila Prabhupada. And they also decorated with gold linings and gold films and everything. And it is known as Prabhupada Palace of Gold, and Prabhupada named that area as New Vrindavan. It's like in New Jagannath Puri, in West New Dwarka, New Vrindavan, he named this. So when this building was to be inaugurated, the devotees, they took Prabhupada to show all the arrangements, and they asked Prabhupada, we want to have in this building not electricity bulbs and all that, but we want to have jewels. In former days there was no electricity, so illumination was with jewels. The jewels were reflecting the light. So devotees wanted that we want to illuminate your place, light your place with jewels instead of electricity. Is it possible? Because that was possible in Dwapar Yuga, whether now it is still possible. So Prabhupada said, very nice reply, it will touch everyone's heart. Prabhupada said, all of you devotees are like jewels. And my palace will be illuminated by all of you, and not only my palace, but the entire world will be illuminated by all of you devotees. That was an anecdote at the time of Srila Prabhupada. This is a very pious place, very auspicious place, Bhubaneswar. It has a history connected with Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, we all know that Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. So you can recite one shloka after me. Nimna ganam yatha ganga.
Nimnaganam yatha ganga.
Devanam yatha achyuta.
Devanam yatha achyuta.
Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu.
Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu.
Purananam itham yatha.
Purananam itham yatha.
Amongst all the flowing rivers, Nimna Ganam. Nimna means going down. Ganga is the most auspicious. Devanam Achyuta. All gods, Achyuta or Krishna is the best. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Amongst all Vaishnavas, Shambhu, Shiva is the best. And amongst all Puranam, Bhagavatam is the best. So Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. There is a history connected with Bhubaneswar, which I'll just briefly narrate. It's quite long, but I will just summarize it. So in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find one story when Krishna was residing in Dwarka. So there was one fool demon, his name, does anyone remember, who tried to imitate Krishna. He said, I am Vasudev. He was posing himself as Vasudev. He also put 2 extra arms. And with the arms, with the symbols, Chakra, Gada, Shankha, Padma. Does anyone remember? Pondarak. Very good. Pondarak. He was such a fool. He was acting like Vasudev. He said, I am the real Vasudev. Krishna just laughed when he heard this. But when this demon became too much, so he challenged Krishna. So Krishna said, okay, I'll see. Krishna sent his Sudarshan and he killed him. And at that same time, there was his friend, the king of Kasi. The king of Kasi was also supporting this Pondaraka, and he was always acting against Krishna. So Krishna also wanted to kill him because he was also very inimical to Krishna. So Krishna sent his Sudarshan Chakra and killed that, and the head of the king of Kasi, all the way from Dwarka, Krishna Sudarshan Chakra sent it to Kasi, all the way from Dwarka. These people of Kasi, they were very foolish. They thought that our king of Kasi has killed Krishna. They thought this is Krishna's head. But when they looked closely, oh, this is our king's head. They realized that Krishna has killed. So then the son of that king of Kasi, his name was Sudakshina. He said, I will revenge it. I will take revenge. I will see how Krishna has killed. So he did so much tapasya for Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva became pleased because Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. He becomes pleased very easily. So he became pleased, Lord Shiva. So what do you want? He said, I want one very powerful demon. He will kill Krishna. Lord Shiva, sometimes he gives benedictions to his devotee. So he gave a benediction, very fiery demon came out, and this demon went to Dwarka and created a lot of havoc there. So the people of Dwarka all became very disturbed. And Krishna at that time he was playing chess. So Krishna told, don't worry, I'll take care of this demon. So Krishna's ordered is Sudarshan, go after this fiery demon. And Sudarshan went after this fiery demon and cooled the demon. And this demon started running back towards Kasi. When in Tantra someone sends out a demon, if that demon is not successful in achieving the purpose, then the same person who sent that demon will get killed. Returned like that. This is Tantrika. So that demon came back to Kasi and he killed this Sudakshana and all the other demonic friends in Kasi. So after this, Lord Shiva realized, I made a big mistake. I gave this demon. So he went and he made apology to Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna told him, Lord Shiva, don't give such benedictions again. In the future you should not give these people, demons, they misuse their benedictions. And at the same time, Lord Krishna gave him a place that you go to this place in Odisha. Previously this place was known as Ekambarvan. Ekambarvan. Because after one, mango. Am means mango. Ekambar. From that, the name has come Ekambarvan. Go to Ekambarvan. This was previously the name, Ekambarvan. And there you'll be peaceful. So Lord Shiva came here and is present here as the Lingaraj. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on his tour of South India, he came here and he offered his obeisances to Lingaraj, and he composed one Shiva Astakam. It's called Shiva Astakam. There are 8 prayers. It's like he also composed 6 Astakam. There is one prayer Astakam which is known as Shiva Astakam. That was composed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here in the Lingaraj temple. So now we'll come to the topic of today's class, which is that there should be Krishna consciousness amongst the youth. So actually we need not wait till we go to old age. But Prahlad Maharaj says, right from the beginning of Kumaram Achareta Pragya, when one is Kumar, young age, one should take to Krishna consciousness. And that will be the highest benedict. I want to try one small experiment. All of you can participate in this experiment. And then you will know what this experiment is going to lead to. So please touch your right eyelid, everyone. Nothing will happen. Do that. Right eyelid, left nostril, left ear, forehead. Touch your head, nothing will happen. Now touch yourself. See, this is my ear, this is my nostril, this is my whatever, mouth, forehead. But who is that I to whom all these things belong? When I ask to touch yourself, you cannot. That yourself is Atma, Jivatma. That is your real identity actually. This body is temporary. Some time we are having this body. Previously we had another body. And in the future we will have another body, according to Bhagavad Gita. But who is the self? It is eternal. I am Atma. And the purpose of Krishna consciousness, as is described very elaborately, the greatest science is to know about Atma. Unfortunately, there are no universities or colleges teaching about the Atma, which is the most important matter that has to be understood. And here in India, actually we are very fortunate that there are many facilities for becoming Krishna consciousness. There are many holy rivers, there are many saintly persons, tirthas, and it is very easy to become Krishna conscious if we take seriously. But even now in India, situation is becoming very degraded day by day. We are seeing actually because of influence of Kali Yuga, and one of the greatest problems that we are facing now, although technology is very advanced and information technology, digital technology, so you may have, sometimes people have thousands of friends on Facebook. To have 50,000 friends on Facebook is not uncommon. Many people have 50,000 friends. But physical friendship, hardly there is any. There's hardly any interaction. And this is becoming day by day a very great problem, which is going to lead to loneliness. And actually, recently, some countries like Japan, they have introduced a new ministry. Every government has its own Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Technology, Ministry of Aerospace, whatever. So many different ministries. Now a new ministry has come. In Japan, they have introduced Ministry for Loneliness. Ministry for Loneliness. Because people are not getting association, physical association as human beings. It is necessary. Just 50,000 friends on Facebook is meaningless. You can't have any physical association because of this technology and all that. And so many other vices and very unfortunate situations are coming. Previously we were afraid of murders, people getting murdered. Now the tendency, the situation is people are committing suicide at such a high rate. The statistics show that actually there are more suicides, at least in India, more suicides in India than murders in India. So you can see it's a very dangerous situation which is heading. Technology is actually not solving our problems, but actually if it is used properly, then it can solve our problems. But misuse of it, of technology, excessive use of technology, not for the purpose, proper purpose, can actually be very dangerous. I come from Indore, and actually on the one hand, Indore is very proud because it is for 6th time the cleanest city in India. Cleanest city in India, 6 times. That's very good. Cleanliness is next to godliness. We should be proud of that. But what they don't tell is that Indore has also got one of the highest suicide rates, and that also amongst the youth. So this is extremely painful. You may be very clean, everything and all that. What is all this cleanliness for? When the youth are committing so much suicide at such high rate. There are more suicides. Murder is not even a problem now. Problem is suicide. How to provide, to protect or reduce murders is not concern. How to protect suicides, that is becoming a great problem. And this is all happening why? Because the youth are not being guided. What is the purpose of life? They don't have any connection with God. So this is a great need. We should take this very seriously. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially has instructed everyone who's born in India, Bharat Bhumi pe hoila Manushya Janam ya Janam Sarthak Kari Kar Upakar. He has said, Mahaprabhu, anyone who has taken birth in the holy land of India, his duty is to perfect his life and then preach to others. This way the world will be saved. Actually, you youth are the only hope for this world. Please take this Krishna consciousness very seriously. Otherwise, this world is doomed. Krishna consciousness movement is the only movement that will save this world. It is the best movement that is going on. And it will be the only movement that will save. So, even 200 years ago, actually, in India the situation was very good. One British Viceroy, his name was Lord Macaulay. Lord Macaulay, he was sent by the British government to survey India and report, because their ambition was only one, to convert all these Indian people. They wanted to make them British habits, make British culture, everything British. They wanted them to become loyal to Britain. So this Lord Macaulay, you can read the history of India, around 1870, he had toured all over India. And then he sent in his report to the British Parliament that I have toured all over India and I did not find a single thief, I did not find a single robber, I did not find a single beggar in the whole of India. That was the situation. No thieves, no robbers, no beggars. Because India was a very opulent country, very cultured country. So Macaulay wrote in his report that it will be very difficult for us to convert these people because they have very strong values. There are no thieves, no robbers, no beggars in this country. If you want that the British will be successful here, then you will have to brainwash them. You have to brainwash them and forcibly teach our culture. Otherwise, not possible. So this report he made, Lord Macaulay, he made in the British Parliament around 1870. And the British had very systematic plans saying that this Indian culture is very inferior. So many charges they level against the British, against the Indian people to make them think that they are inferior. But actually, this is the greatest culture. This is the highest philosophy. There is no philosophy in the world which can match the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, the Vedanta philosophy. When Prabhupada was in England in 1972, at that time, one reporter came and met Prabhupada, and he was asking in a very challenging mood, Swamiji, why you came here? He asked very challengingly. But Prabhupada knew how to answer everyone. He knew how to deal with this. He told, I came here to give you British people those things which you left behind when you left India. I came to give you those things which you left behind in India. So he was thinking, what things we left behind? We took everything. They took the Kohinoor. Kohinoor is in Queen Victoria's, or now Queen Elizabeth's crown. They made the people of India starve and filled the treasury of Queen Victoria at that time. Took everything. They left India empty. And he's saying, what did we leave behind? Prabhupada said, the most precious thing you left behind was the culture of India, the Bhagavad Gita, that you left behind. So, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, कि भारत भूमि ते होइला मनुष्य जन्म यार जन्म साथ करी कर उपकार. And Mahaprabhu also has said in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Prithvi te acche yatra nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hoi be more naam. In every town and village His holy names will be spoken. So it is a great fortune to be even some insignificant instrument in this service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, Mahaprabhu could have done himself. He is capable of doing it. But he has given this opportunity so we can all do some service in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by becoming Krishna conscious, not only is it helping ourselves, of course we ourselves will be very benefited. Apart from that, as in the pastimes of Nrsimhadev and Prahlad, when Nrsimhadev came and he killed Hiranyakashipu, so Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad, please ask for some benediction because you have suffered so much for me. Your father tortured you like anything. That was true. Actually, Hiranyakashipu wanted his son Prahlad to accept that Hiranyakashipu is God. Prahlad, you just accept that I am God. But Prahlad said, sorry Pitaji, sorry, I cannot accept you. You are not God. Excuse me, you are not God. God is Vishnu. I will never give up the worship of Vishnu. So then he tortured him in so many ways. Threw him from a cliff, put him in a pit of snakes, gave him poison to drink. So many, every time he was unsuccessful. Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe. If someone is protected by Krishna, then no one can kill him. If Krishna wants to kill someone, no one can protect him. So Prahlad, when Nrsimhadev has offered this, please ask for some benediction, anything you want. You suffered so much from me, you ask for it. Prahlad is saying, no, Nrsimhadev, no. I am not like a businessman. To be engaged in your service is the best benediction. What more benediction do we need? This is the highest benediction. To get a chance to serve Krishna or Nrsimhadev. So he's saying, I don't want benediction. But if you want to give, then I request that my father, he offended you so many times. He committed so sinful activities by saying that he is Vishnu. So my request is that you please deliver him, you save him for all this. Then Nrsimhadeva replied, my dear Prahlad, when someone becomes a devotee in any family, or takes birth in any family, or later on becomes a devotee, then 21 generations previously and 21 generations to come all get delivered. They will all be delivered. See? They don't have to separate the two. Just by one person taking to Krishna consciousness, 21 generations previous and 21 generations to come, they all will be delivered. This is the benefit of taking to Krishna consciousness. So this is actually very relevant to all of our lives, because material life is going to end. This is the law of this material world. People have tried to become eternal, to live long and longer, but laws of nature will not allow. Krishna has confirmed, whoever is born must die, and whoever dies must be born again. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityu jatasya cha. So while in this brief lifetime, let's make the best use of it. This material world is a very bad bargain. It is not a place for a gentleman. No gentleman should stay here. This is meant for those who have rebelled against Krishna. It's like a lockdown. This whole world is like a lockdown. We have heard of the lockdown during the corona times. But that lockdown is very small. That's a very small. The real, asli lockdown is this material world. Every morning we are singing Samsara Davana Lalita Loka Tanaya Karuna Kana Ganatvam Praptasya Kalena Gunarnavasya Vande Guru Shijaranarave. This is the real lockdown, samsara, the fire of samsara. And how can this fire be extinguished? In the forest there is a fire, all your fire brigades will be failure. They cannot put out the fire. But when it starts raining, the fire will be put out. So this lockdown, and who is in charge of this lockdown? The lockdown superintendent, every jail has a superintendent, right? The superintendent who is in charge of this lockdown, anyone knows? Durga Devi. Durga Devi. Durga Devi is in charge. Durga Devi is in charge. So, unless we do Krishna Bhakti, we will always remain in this lockdown. But if we do Krishna Bhakti, then we will be able to get out from the coverings of this lockdown and go back to where our real position is, in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world. Here in this lockdown, we are suffering Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, birth, death, old age and age. Even Lord Brahma, the highest living being in this, subjected to these four. And then we also get 3 more bonus. That is there, Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, but 3 more bonuses are also given. What is this bonus? Adi Atamik Klesh, Adi Bhautik Klesh, and Adi Devik Klesh. See? Misery is due to demigods, misery is due to our whole body, and misery is by other living entities. So, 4 miseries are already there, but 3 get 3 more bonus. So such a miserable life. We are singing also Jagannath Astakam every morning. And Hartam Papanam, and Har, save me for all this miserable condition of life. We are praying to Jagannath for his help. India is given this responsibility. Mahaprabhu has given this responsibility. Should be the guru of this whole world. And Prabhupada took Jagannath Rath Yatra to the west. Now almost in every city of the world, Jagannath Rath Yatra takes place. It's inconceivable how within such a short period of time Prabhupada could achieve such a miracle. And most of his followers, at least during those times, were youths. Young people join. They have the energy also to preach. Because very unfortunately, in India, our leaders are actually misguiding, politicians especially. One such politician, you might have heard, there was a debate regarding the Ram Setu. Actually, even some NASA people, National Aeronautics and Space Administration in America, even they have provided some evidence, some pictures and all that some breach was there between Rameshwar and Sri Lanka. So, but this politician, his name was Karunanidhi, you might have heard of this Karunanidhi. He's so foolish, he said it's not possible that Lord Ramchandra could have built this bridge. So then devotees challenged him, why you are saying that? How can you say that? We are saying that Lord Ram built the bridge because we have scriptures and also other evidence is there that the bridge, even now, some evidence is there. On what basis you say? We are saying on our basis. On what basis you are saying that it is not possible that Lord Ramchandra built the bridge? So he was so foolish. He said that Lord Ramchandra lived in Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, there were no universities. Because there were no universities, Lord Ram did not have a degree in civil engineering. So he could not have built the bridge. Such a foolish person. Does Lord Ram need a degree in civil engineering? He is giving degrees to everyone. He is making all the planets float in the space and so many miraculous things. And this man, he's saying he did not have a degree in engineering, so he could not have built it. Unfortunately, such people, they are misguiding people, the young innocent people. Recently, many of you must be knowing, because this is the year of Srila Prabhupada's appearance, 125th celebrations are going on. So, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, he had released a coin in commemorating Srila Prabhupada. And our Honorable Prime Minister, he actually glorified Srila Prabhupada, and he made one statement. And in the statement itself, he quoted his predecessor Prime Minister, one of the predecessor Prime Ministers, Atul Bihari Vajpayee. So this Atul Bihari Vajpayee, he, at the time of the opening of the Delhi temple, ISKCON Delhi temple, he had made a very nice comment that what Srila Prabhupada has done is nothing short of a miracle. It is a miracle what he achieved, Prabhupada. So we would go and say that it is not only a miracle, but it is the greatest miracle in the whole of history, that he changed the lives of millions of people by his preaching, his own example, and mostly by his books. His books are so powerful. One time, Prabhupada was in Mumbai, and one of his disciples, his name was Bhagavad Das. So he narrated the story. Bhagavad Das, some life members were present in the room where Prabhupada was preaching to them, and he was reciting some shlokas. So when these life members left, Prabhupada asked, Bhagavad, did you understand what I was saying? Bhagavad said, sorry Prabhupada, I don't know those shlokas. So Prabhupada said, actually these books are very important, we should read them daily. And Prabhupada said, I also read my books every day. And then he said, because every time I read these books, I find something new. Then Prabhupada was quiet for some time, and then Prabhupada revealed the most profound secret, the greatest secret. He said, because these books are not written by me. Every morning Krishna comes and he dictates, and I just take the dictation. I just give it a written form, but they are actually dictated by Krishna. So this is very important. We should read these books which the Prabhupada has given. Make a systematic habit of reading these books. On another occasion, one reporter asked Prabhupada, what will happen when you die? Your movement is spreading so well now, but what will happen when you die? Then Prabhupada said, I will never die. This was his answer. I will never die. I will always live in my books. So we should read these books thoroughly, systematically. I will just one more story I'd like to narrate. It has got a very deep meaning, and it shows that actually Prabhupada was the only person who could do this or fulfill the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Chaitanya Mangal, Lochandas Thakurji says, quoting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that my Senapati Bhakt will come, and those people who have run away from Dharma, he will bring them all back. So that Senapati Bhakta is Srila Prabhupada. This is Prabhupada. For his mission Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent 3 especially empowered personalities. The first was Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He started so many Namahatas and he wrote so many books and he wrote so many songs. Many of the songs that we are singing, Jai Radha Madhava, Gora Arti, and so many others are written by Bhakti Vinod. Even the Prasadam prayers, Shrira Vidyaja, all these are written by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And he sent in 1896 this book, Teachings and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya, way back in 1896 to McGill University in Canada. And a copy of that book is still available in that. Our devotees found it. Our ISKCON devotees found that book in McGill University. Teachings and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then the next great personality was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Parama Guru. And he also preached, he was known as a Simha Guru, Lion Guru. No one could stand before him. Mayavadis, when they saw him going on the road, they will change their direction. They cannot counteract him. That's why he is known as Simha Guru. And the progeny, the children of a Simha is also like a Simha. That is Srila Prabhupada. He was also very bold in his preaching. Prabhuji had asked me to narrate how I joined ISKCON. So I was a student in London, and at that time I was very interested to know what is the purpose of life. I was doing mechanical engineering, and I asked my professors, what is the purpose of life? And especially at that time, there was a lot of problems going on in the world. There was mass starvation in Biafra, near Nigeria, and the India and Pakistan war was going on. And everywhere there was so many problems. So I was reading many books on philosophy and just trying to understand what is the purpose. I also tried to do some social work to help the people, but I was not satisfied. I even became a member of the Communist Society of England. I thought maybe they have some solutions, but I was not satisfied with them. They have no solutions. So this way I was looking. I even read one Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita as it is, but another edition of Bhagavad Gita. But I got even more confused after reading that. I could not understand at all until I read Bhagavad Gita as it is. So then one day I was going in Oxford Street. Oxford Street is the capital of Maya of the whole world. Anything to do with Maya you will find in Oxford Street. But somehow I had some work there. I happened to go there, and there I saw some devotees. They were all Western devotees, white-bodied devotees, all wearing saffron dress, dhotis, kurtas, and ladies in saris. They were all playing mridanga, kartal, jumping, dancing. I could not understand. That was in the year 1972. I couldn't understand what is going on in London, and that also in Oxford Street, the kingdom of Maya. And they are doing kirtan. So I was very happy to see them, but I could not understand what they are. So one of them came to me and they gave me this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. So at that time they were also America was going to the moon and all that. They say they were going to the moon. Prabhupada said they didn't go to the moon. That's another thing, but they said they are going to the moon. So I did not know much. So I thought, okay, let's see. There's an easy journey to other planets. So I took that book, and they also gave me one card with the address of the temple. So on the way on the train, I started reading that book. And actually, this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets, is Bhagavad Gita only, but it has been written Prabhupada in such a scientific language to attract the scientists. He uses all technical terms, scientific terms like electrons, protons, neutrons, and all scientific languages. So I read this, and I was getting the answers to some of my questions. Then I thought I should visit the temple because they had given me a card. So they told me, I thought I will go and visit the temple. So I followed that address, and somehow I came to meet. I went to the temple, and luckily my greatest fortune was that Prabhupada was there. He happened to come to London at that time. Krishna is the best timer. His timing is perfect. If I had not gone to Oxford Street, I would not have got that book, and I would not have got the card. Maybe my coming to Krishna consciousness would have been delayed, and I might not have met Prabhupada because he came for only a few days there, and I might have missed that opportunity. It might have taken me much longer to come to Krishna consciousness. But Krishna is the best timer, because I was looking for what is the goal of life, what is the purpose of life. I was even thinking I'll go to India and learn from them, Indian people, what to do. So, but it is said that if you are sincere, then you don't even need to search a guru. The guru will come to you if you are sincere. So I was very fortunate. Prabhupada happened to be there. I did not know anything about this movement or anything. But I started listening to his lecture. Prabhupada was giving a lecture at that time. And the first sentence itself convinced me. Prabhupada was looking at the deities, and he's saying, Krishna is present in the deities. But if you think this is only stone, then Krishna will remain a stone. So that answered my question. Krishna is there. What I was looking for. I was convinced. Prabhupada was speaking with so much conviction. And then the next sentence Prabhupada said, our philosophy is so high that it can cut down the philosophy of Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin's philosophy is nothing compared to it. Because I had started associating with different type of people. Some of my friends were atheists actually. Atheism means Darwin's theory. So, because there was no one to guide me and all that, and even though before meeting Prabhupada, I read another Gita, but I got even more confused than before. I couldn't understand anything. Then, I felt that Prabhupada has the answer to my questions. He pointing out, here is Krishna, God, and then also that our philosophy is Darwin's philosophy cannot stand in front of our Krishna philosophy. So then when that lecture was finished, because other devotees were there, all young people, they all went to meet Prabhupada in his chambers, in his private room. So I did not know what to do, but everyone was going, so I thought, well, I will go also. So I went and I followed all the devotees. So one by one, the devotees were offering their obeisances to Prabhupada. I had no idea what to do, but everyone is offering obeisances. So I thought, okay, I will do also. So I went also and I offered Prabhupada my obeisances. And that was the best moment of my life. Prabhupada touched my head with his lotus hand. And I felt, so blissful. And it's actually also said that just by near being near a Vaishnava, all of one's sinful activities go away. I felt so blissful, and actually this is the experience of anyone who has come to Prabhupada, who associated with Prabhupada even for a short time. They had this experience. They felt so blissful and felt that as if Radha and Krishna are directly with him in this room. And it's true also, because Krishna is always in the heart of this pure devotee. So at that moment itself, I thought that he is going to be my guide for life. He has answered my questions already. And I felt that I will like to serve him, dedicate my life to him. That was in 1972. So since that, I decided I will be joining ISKCON, and I stayed for a little while in England because the temple president told me I was in the last year, finish the degree and then come back. So I finished my degree in engineering and then I joined ISKCON. So I'll leave a few minutes for questions, if anyone has some questions.
We would also like to know about your interactions with Gaur Govind Maharaj.
Okay, that's a very beautiful question. Prabhuji has asked a very wonderful question, my interactions with Gaur Govind Maharaj. Gaur Govind Maharaj was such a scholarly person, at the same time so humble, and I'm very fortunate that Maharaj, he had affection for everyone, every member of ISKCON, and congregation, for everyone, people at large. He was very, very affectionate to everyone. I had his association because at the time of the opening of the Manipur temple, Maharaj happened to go there. He was very close friend to Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Maharaj, and I was also very close to Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Maharaj also. So at that time, Gaur Govind Maharaj, he had observed that actually, because the time of the opening of the Manipur temple, they had invited some Brahmanas from South India to do the yajna and all that. Gaur Govind Maharaj, while he appreciated this, but he also commented that actually these rituals of opening the temple and all that, we don't need these brahmanas. Our own devotees can do this type of worship. So that was one of his observations. And throughout actually, he was very, very affectionate to me. There are many instances apart from this. Of course, he had great blessings of Srila Prabhupada. He was a very scholarly person. One of the teachings that I find very inspiring, actually he has written many books. He's written Mathura meets Vrindavan. That's one of his things. Then when good fortune strikes, these wonderful books he has written. One of the instructions, or you can say one of the teachings, he explains how Balram holds a plough in his hand. And I understood his explanation. This was a very vivid explanation why Balram is holding a plough in his hand. So Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj, he had explained that this plough in Balram's hand indicates that before the seed of bhakti can be planted, the heart or the kshetra has to be plowed. Just like even in the ordinary fields, if you want to plant anything, first step is to plow. जोतना पड़ता है पहले. You have to plow that. After plowing, only then you can plant the seed. And then once the seed is planted, then you have to water. Then it will sprout out and then become a creeper. And then this creeper will surpass this material world and finally surrender at the feet of Lord Krishna. So he's this very nice example he gave that our heart, it is very hard due to so many sinful activities, due to forgetfulness of Krishna, needs to be plowed. And that's Balram with his, he is the original spiritual master of everyone. He is Guru, or in the form of Nityananda. Guru Goranga. Guru means Nityananda. So Balram is the original Guru of everyone, and with his plough he tills the land, he plows the land, so that the seed of bhakti can be put in our heart. And then by the watering, what is the watering process? Chanting of the holy names. This is the watering process. This creeper grows. He was such a wonderful personality, so humble yet so scholarly. Whenever he used to give class, I remember he had a whole pile of books with him, and he would always refer to them. Very, very dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Built such a beautiful temple, and not only that, he preached everywhere, European countries, America also. We pray for his blessings. So, Hare Krishna. Yes.
How to maintain the stability in working like normal one?
Okay, very good. Prabhuji has asked a very nice question. How can we become steady in devotional service? Nectar of instruction explains that utsah nishchayat dharyat tat tat karma pravartana. That's two other lines in that. One should be very enthusiastic, utsah. So without enthusiasm, you cannot be successful in any activity, even in material activities, unless you have utsah. Utsah nishchaya, then you must be very determined. We have got the most excellent opportunity. Utsah nishchaya dharyat, and you must also be very patient. Rupa Goswami has said that Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita mate kriyate yadi kuto api labhyate tatra lolyam ekalam mulyam koti janam sukriti nalabhyate. Rupa Goswami is saying, if you find that Krishna consciousness is available anywhere, don't wait. Just take it. Krishna Bhakti Ras Bhavitamate Kriyante Api Labhate. Take it immediately, don't wait. But you have to pay a price. He tells you what is the price. Tatya Tatra Lolyam Ekalam. Lolyam, your enthusiasm. Lolyam, this is the price. Ekalam Koti Janam Sukritina Labhate. What you cannot get after many, many pious activities, many Koti Janam, you can get even in this lifetime just by being enthusiastic about Krishna consciousness. And to be enthusiastic, we must be in the association of devotees. That's why Prabhupada introduced this ISKCON, temples. These are actually like hospitals. All our temples are like hospitals where we cure the greatest disease, which is Bhava Rog. Bhava Rog means birth and death. Nowhere else they will teach you this, the science of the soul. So, to be steady, we should associate with devotees, very enthusiastic, and our sadhana should be very good. And the main part of our sadhana is chanting of the holy names. We cannot neglect other services. They are also important. We don't neglect them. But most important is chanting. This is the very foundation of our spiritual life, bhakti, chanting. When at the time of this yajna, sacrifice, when a disciple is initiated, so the Guru asks, what are the 4 rules? We have to mention, we have to say 4 rules. But then he also asks, how many rounds you will chant? Will you chant 16 rounds or no? And unless one is ready to chant 16 rounds, one should not go for this diksha, because this is the most important aspect. We have to chant 16 rounds. So Guru does not ask to do other things, that you worship or you serve prasad or so many things. But this thing he asks, you must chant 16 rounds. And also, it's like, when a child is holding the hand of the mother, then mother will not allow the child to fall down. The child is safe, guaranteed. Similarly, when your hand is always on your mala, and this mala is a Tulsi mala. Tulsi is always at the feet of Krishna. So you are actually touching the feet of Krishna, because Tulsi is always at the feet of Krishna. And Prabhupada also said, if you chant nicely, it is like having the darshan of the Lord. When some guest comes to your house, you are very careful to take very nice care of him. You will like to make him feel welcome. So when you are chanting, Krishna is present on your tongue. So we should not neglect him. Not be chanting but thinking of something else. Some people are even doing mobile work when chanting. This is offensive. We should not do that. Fully concentrate and chant with your heart. Put your whole heart. The whole world is not going to end within 1.5 hours. Keep those 1.5 hours for holy name only. Nothing else, not even what your service and all that. Exclusively only for chanting. When I chant, I chant. Say, when I chant, I chant. Okay? When you are chanting, you should be chanting, not thinking about something else. With a full heart. Keep this 1.5 to 2 hours exclusively for chanting, and you will see you will make a rapid advancement in Krishna consciousness. Problems are there, this material world is full of problems, but with good chanting you will not see or face these problems. You will be able to deal with every situation. In fact, when you take to Krishna consciousness, then you become expert in dealing with other situations also. You will become expert in dealing with other situations. There are many examples, Raghunath Das Pandit, Raghunath Das Goswami, and many other examples. By becoming Krishna conscious, you become more expert because you know the value of time. You know the value of everything. Everything is Krishna's energy. You know how to use Krishna's energy properly. Yes, please.
Maybe how to come out of envy and fault finding.
How to envy and okay, very good question. How to come out of this tendency to be envious and all. So actually, a good person, he sees the good in everything, in everyone. But a person who is envious, he sees the bad qualities of everyone. So just like the swans, they go to a very clean place. Or the bees, they go and collect honey from the flowers. Whereas the flies, they will go to dirty, filthy places. So similarly, devotee should always see the good qualities in others. There is no one who is fully full of good qualities or who is full of bad qualities fully. A devotee sees the good qualities of everyone. This will come if we maintain a very humble attitude. And this humility will come by attentive chanting of the holy names. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji has given us this formula, and this formula also appears in this book, When Good Fortune Strikes. When Good Fortune Strikes, by Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And there Maharaj has very clearly explained Mahaprabhu's instruction. Trinadapi sunikhena toror iva sahisma amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahare. Think yourself as lower than the straw in the street. Be more tolerant than the tree. Amanina. Amanina means don't expect any respect for yourself. Manadena, but ready to offer respect to others. You remember this formula which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Like 4 flowers. This is how Gaur Govinda Maharaj has described. These are the 4 flowers. What is that? Humble than the straw in the street. Second, more tolerant than the tree. Third, amanina. Don't expect any respect. And manadena, but ready to give. These 4 flowers. Then you tie these 4 flowers, string these 4 flowers with the thread of Harinam and put it around your neck. Always remember this formula which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Bhagavatam also says that if we look into the faults of others, then our own devotional service will be affected. Don't look into the faults of others. In fact, the Bhagavatam says one should neither praise, neither criticize the activities of others. It says both. Bhagavatam says, neither praise nor criticize the activities of others. So there was one personality, his name was Ramachandra Puri. So this Ramachandra Puri, he had this habit of criticizing people. And first he criticized his own guru, Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was such an exalted person. He's directly from Golok Vrindavan. And one time Ramchandra Puri came to him. Madhavendra Puri, at that time he was in great ecstasy, his own feelings of separation. He was feeling such separation from Krishna. He was crying, all the symptoms of ecstatic love. So this Ramchandra Puri could not understand. He said, Gurudev, why you are crying? You should be happy. You are Brahman realized. You should be happy. But he could not understand. He was crying in separation from Krishna. Here I heard also Maharaj had this crying club. Yeah, Maharaj was promoting crying club. We are crying for Krishna. Gopis are crying for Krishna. So Ramchandra Puri could not understand this. So he dared to criticize his own guru. As a result of that offense, when you commit an offense to a pure devotee or exalted personality, the offense does not stop there. He committed the offense to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. When Mahaprabhu was staying, he was saying, some ants were there. And he said, this sannyasi is eating sweets. That's why these ants are coming. He was such a, person, Ramchandra Puri. And then he also told to Mahaprabhu, first he would invite him, Mahaprabhu, and give him so much prasad on the plate. Then he would say, see this sannyasi is eating so much. First he would purposely put so much prasad on his plate, then he would criticize, this sannyasi is eating too much. Then Mahaprabhu reduced his eating. So the point was, coming to is that Ramchandra Puri, he justified himself. His how of criticizing. He said, Bhagavatam is saying one should not praise or criticize other persons. So he would say, I am doing what the Bhagavatam is saying. Bhagavatam is saying should not praise, so I am not praising him. But he neglected that he was criticizing. That part he did not. Bhagavatam also say should not praise or criticize. So in this way, we ourselves learn to be very respectful to all Vaishnavas. Because Vaishnavas are present in the heart of Krishna. Krishna says that. Sadhu hridayam mahayam sadhunam hridayastaham mat anyat na janti na te vyo munagavi. Saints reside in my heart. He says to Durvasa Muni, and I reside in the heart of my devotees. The devotees don't know anything except me, and I also do not know anything except my devotees. So be very careful. Out of the 10 offenses, this is the most serious offense to even mentally think something offensive about other devotees. Categories are there. Mentally thinking is less serious, talking is more serious, and to actually act against a Vaishnava, that is the most serious offense. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed this. I can continue 5 minutes? Okay? Huh? Okay, I'll just finish this point. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving his blessings, love of God, to all the devotees. He would bless every devotee. May you get love of God. So everyone got love of God. And some devotees approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, you have given the whole world, everyone, blessings, but give to your mother also, Sachidananda. No, I will not give to her. Mahaprabhu said. Devotees were shocked. Why? Your dear mother, you are not giving love to her. You are giving love of Krishna to everyone. Mahaprabhu said, because she has committed some offense to Advaita Acharya. So devotees could not understand that. How can she is mother of the universe, most pious lady. And then Mahaprabhu said, because you see this Sachidani, she had one elder son also, Vishwarupa. So Vishwarupa, he was very renounced right from the beginning. He used to go to Advaita Acharya to learn Bhagavad Gita from Advaita Acharya. So Vishwarupa, because he was so detached, he was thinking, if I stay at home, then my parents will get me married, because Mother Sachi was always talking to get me married. So he said, before they do that, I will just go and take sannyas. So now Mother Sachi, she thought, naturally she was a little sad when Vishwarup left. So he's thinking, because he used to go to Advaita Acharya, by the influence of Advaita Acharya, my son has become a sannyasi. She did not tell this to anyone, but kept in her mind. But Mahaprabhu, Krishna, he is in the heart of everyone. He was thinking, why she is thinking like that? That by influence of Advaita Acharya, my son took sannyas. So that's why Mahaprabhu was not willing to give love of Krishna to her. She thought that she was mentally offending Advaita Acharya. So he refused to give. So on the other hand, Advaita Acharya was passing nearby. The devotees went and told him, Mahaprabhu has given love to everyone, Krishna love, but he refuses to give to Sachidani, because he says that Sachidani has committed an offense. When Advaita Acharya heard this, what? Sachidani committed offense to me? Impossible. Maybe I committed offense to her. Not possible that she could have. And he was thinking, he fell down, fainted. He fell down, fainted. Then Sachidani was nearby. She went and touched his feet. So when she touched his feet, Mahaprabhu accepted her, like offense is forgiven, and he gave her also love of Krishna. Point is that in our dealings with other Vaishnavas, we should be extremely careful, very, very careful. When we offend Vaishnavas, even unconsciously, even out of ignorance, our devotional service will be checked. That's why every morning we are offering this Panchakalpadrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Every morning we say. Any other questions?
Sometimes regarding this point,
Yeah.
that Sachi Mata committed offense against
Advaita.
Advaita,
Yeah.
and Mahaprabhu doesn't wanted to give her mercy, love her. So we learned that we should not commit offense against Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
Sometimes in our devotee community, that points come that we consider Vaishnavas means those who are coming from temple. Those who are staying here are not Vaishnavas, and those, therefore we can offense each other. So what
Yeah. Because there are different levels of devotees, and we must respect every devotee. That's why we address each other as Prabhu. We must address each other as Prabhu. And even in ignorance, if we somehow commit some offense, then our own devotional service will be affected. I'll just explain one, I'll give you one story by which you can understand this. Rupa Goswami, he was sitting in one place, Ter Kadamba, it's near Nandagaon, Ter Kadamba, and he was sitting under the tree. This Ter Kadamba tree, when Rupa Goswami, he was writing the Nectar of Devotion there, and sometimes when and other scriptures also he was writing. He was when he was writing about the union of Krishna and Radha, all the tree they were full of flowers, leaves and everything. But when he was writing about the separation of Krishna and Radha, all these flowers will fall down and the leaves will fall. So in this situation, one time he was having a darshan of Krishna, was sitting on the one branch of the tree, and underneath that branch Radharani was there. So he was actually having a darshan of that Leela, and this branch was full of fruits. So Krishna was pushing this branch down so that Radharani can pluck the fruit. So he did that, puts the branch down. When Radharani was just about to pluck the fruit, he lifted the branch. So Radharani could not pick it. So Rupa Goswami was having darshan of this Leela. He was smiling. Wow, what a wonderful Leela. In the meantime, one Panghun Vaishnava came there. Panghun means lame. So he just happened to come to Rupa Goswami to have his darshan and ashirvad. But he saw the smile on Rupa Goswami's face. So this Vaishnava, Panghun Vaishnava, he could not understand. He thought that he is smiling because of my lameness, because I am lame. He thought like that. That was not the idea of Rupa Goswami at all. He was not on this external world, he was in an internal world. But he got offended. He said, this is not what I expected from Rupa Goswami. Ever the world, they are making fun of me that I am lame. And I thought, this Goswami, I never expected Goswami to. So he became very distressed. And without talking to Rupa Goswami, he just went down. As soon as he started going down, as soon as this he became distressed, this darshan which Rupa Goswami was having of this beautiful Leela stopped. So Rupa Goswami was very surprised. What happened? I was having such a beautiful darshan. All of a sudden, darshan has stopped. So he, after some time, Sanatana Goswami, his brother, came there. And they asked him, Goswami explained everything. I was having such a beautiful darshan. Radharani was just about to pluck, and Krishna lifted the branch. But the darshan stopped immediately. So Sanatana Goswami asked him, did you see anyone else came when you were having this? He remembered, yeah, one Panghun Vaishnava was there. He was just going. I could not talk to him because he left. So Sanatana Goswami could understand that this Panghun Vaishnava's coming there had something to do with it. So next day, Sanatana Goswami went to Vrindavan and he approached each and every devotee in Vrindavan. At that time, there were not so many people there in Vrindavan. It was not so thickly inhabited. So personally, he went to everyone and he said, tomorrow there's going to be feast. Rupa Goswami is holding the feast. Please come for the feast. So he approached many of the devotees there in Vrindavan. Then he came upon this lame Vaishnava, Punga Vaishnava. And he said, tomorrow I'd like to invite you. And he asked, who's arranging the feast? Panghun Vaishnava. He said, my brother Rupa Goswami is arranging the feast. I came here to invite you. Rupa Goswami, I will never come to his place. Sanatana Goswami, why? Because yesterday when I came there, he was smiling to see or laughing to see my lameness. I thought that he will, I never expected this from him. So Sanatana Goswami immediately understood. This Pangun Vaishnava, somehow he got offended. That was not the intention of Rupa Goswami at all. He didn't even know that Pangun Vaishnava had come. But unconsciously he had done this without intention. Vaishnava Prad is very, very serious. So he invited him, told him, no, Rupa Goswami will never think like that. You have misunderstood. Please come. I assure you, Rupa Goswami has no such feelings for you. So this Pangun Vaishnava, then he came for the feast. What is the purport? Purport is even unknowingly if you commit offenses, our devotion service will be checked. But that's why we always remain very respectful to devotees. Every morning we say one chakalpatru vyasya, like that. Knowingly or unknowingly, if we have committed offenses, we should beg forgiveness from the Vaishnavas.
Prabhuji, what are the ways to motivate the atheist people to join Krishna consciousness?
What are the ways to?
What are the ways to motivate the atheist people to join the Krishna consciousness?
The atheist people to join to Krishna. Very good question. Nobody has asked what is the way to motivate the atheistic people. So our process of Krishna consciousness itself is so wonderful, but despite that, many atheist people are not attracted. But the point here is that first we become very convinced of itself. We do our sadhana properly, we do our chanting, then we will have the potency to influence others. Krishna will see how sincere we are at either distributing books or preaching. The results we have to leave up to Krishna. But if we have the sincere desire, I want to preach, I want to attract so many people to Krishna consciousness, then Krishna is within our heart. He will also give us the intelligence and the potency to attract so many people. When Prabhupada went alone, for 1 year he had to struggle so much. Everyone knows that. We have to have that desire and we should be very sincere. First of all, we become convinced, we become strong, then we can make others. When you go on a flight, right? Most of you have been on some flights of some time or the other. When you're in the flight, the air hostess will come and she will teach you how to put the mask, right? Corona or no corona, you have to wear that mask in case of emergency. She will teach. But what she will say, before going to others, you put your own mask. Isn't it? You put your own mask. Then you do this. So first save yourself. Then you can save other people. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I would like to thank Prabhuji. He has come and given his time. How did you like the class? Oh, you can well imagine 50 years Prabhuji is chanting 16 rounds every day without fail. 50 years. 1917 came across this phone and now it's 2022. So it's a great source of inspiration. So we thank Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Chant one like Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
This Mahaman Prabhu ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.